For today's video, I'm going to design a new logo using me of Affinity Designer 2. I got this idea after watching Affinity Creative session, and I thought, why not try it myself using Designer for this? This particular video that I was watching did use Affinity Designer. I do use a hole-in wolf for most of my stuff, so why not evolve it a little bit more? So I grabbed my sketchbook and I started to sketch a few ideas. But I did not want it to be a profile view this time. I have done that too many times. So I searched for a hole-in wolf and I found a good reference to work with. I worked on the sketch in Clip Studio Paint before moving it over to Designer. I am not so happy to sketch in Designer just yet, but maybe one day. I went with the pixel persona for this line art. Haven't become good friends yet with the vector brushes, but it's nice to have both options there if needed. For the circle and moons I worked in vector persona. And I don't use black for any of these lines, a very dark blue is what I use. I went with full moon cycle for this. Wanted the in-between moons too, and not just the big four like full moon and new moon and half. And I add a few dots to make it look a little bit more like a moon and not just a clean circle. For the flat colors I use the pencil wheel tool in vector persona. It's easier to change the color in this way if you use vector and not just the pixel. If you use the pixel persona, you either have to do a fill to recolor it or use a hue for it or alpha lock. Also added a rectangle behind it all for the background to make the wolf stand out a little more. And of course I added more like texture stuff to make the wolf stand out a little bit more from the background. For the flat colors I do some variation in the color to make it stand out a little more, otherwise it is boring if it's just one single color. I could have done a gradient for it, but I decided not to do that. I added a mask layer above it all in Multiply and erased away in the edges where the light will hit. And later I added a new layer in Overlay for the actual light source. I was thinking that the light source is kind of behind it, making this a rim light. I were gonna add more shadows, like darker in the fur, etc. to make it stand out more, but I removed it because I didn't feel like it looked good. Might have chosen a little bit too dark colors for this artwork, I'm not really sure, but if you've seen other hole-in wolf logos that I've done, they are more colorful. This might have happened because of the video that inspired me. But I'm happy with this artwork anyway. And I can go back and change the color if I want to, because the flat colors is in vector. Until next time, see you in the new year.